A few weeks ago, I went to a doctor to talk about a medical issue, and I went in expecting what I've faced many times at the doctor, which is that the first thing they would see is my weight instead of what I was telling them or who I am. So I went in armed, and I sat down on the bed, and the doctor, the first thing he said was, well, we think you might have this condition, and the first thing we do is we encourage weight loss. And I said, do thin people ever get this affliction? And he said, actually, yes, absolutely, they do. And I said, oh, okay, that's my understanding as well. And he said, so again, the first thing that we do is we encourage our patients to lose weight. And I then brought up the fact that I had studied and found that weight loss attempts only work 2 to 5% of the time in any kind of long-term study. The doctor agreed with me. He said, that's absolutely true. Most of the time, weight loss attempts fail, and it's harder for some people than others, but we don't find great success with it. Said, great, thinking we're on the same track here. So he starts again. So the first thing that we do is we encourage our patients to try to pursue weight loss to see if we can alleviate their symptoms. And I felt so invisible and so unheard. And I felt shamed because even though he was agreeing with me to my logic and the research, he was just repeating to me this speech that he gives to everyone, I guess, or everyone who's fat. And I didn't know what to say at that point. I let him finish his spiel, and we continued on with trying to diagnose and treat my condition. But I feel like he should have stopped and listened and took a minute to think about the logic of what he was offering. And if a doctor's telling a person to pursue a medical intervention that's proven not to work, I find that that's very inhumane and uncompassionate and ineffective. I just felt like throwing my hands up in the air, and obviously he wasn't hearing what I was going to say, so I felt like it was left up to me to try to pull truth from what he was saying, rather than to be able to have a trusting relationship with my medical provider, who I felt like was on my side and on my team to try to tackle this problem. I felt like I was on the defense and have to filter through everything he says and try to pull out what really is true and factual. Patients deserve to be treated with medical interventions that are proven to work, and they deserve your honesty in the fact that certain things you're recommending don't tend to work, rather than being told that if they just try hard enough, they'll be in that fraction of a percent that it does work for. I resolve to continue to fight to be given research-based, evidence-based medical interventions by my doctors.